it's really about, when you start talking about the point spread, as you know, Skip, it's about the betting. Where the money coming in at, right? Right now, 61% of the money on the spread is on the Cowboys to cover. 65% of the bets on the spread are on the Cowboys to cover. So there's a big difference, right, when you're talking about the spread versus money.
But more money is coming in on the bill, like bigger bets.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And so when you look at it, they're at home. They're in the hunt, especially since Miami loses last night. After this show, if we look at the money line, I mean, we look at the betting lines, I'm sure it's going to increase even more because of what happened last night. And so now you say to yourself, what are we looking at? We're looking at a head coach who has to show the people up in Buffalo he's capable of winning big games. They lost a big game to Kansas City. Okay, they already lost this year to New England. So when you start to look at that, now you got the Dallas Cowboys rolling in red hot. You have a chance to upset them. Here's a quarterback in Josh Allen, who was a conversation every single year starts off. He's on the front cover of EA Sports. Yes. He's going to be an MVP this and an MVP that. All of those sort of things. Now you got Dak Prescott rolling in. You're trying to stop this. You're trying to stop this momentum of the Dallas Cowboys and, at the same time, win your division. Stay on pace to get to the playoffs. Show everybody that this is not, the door has not closed on the Buffalo Bills. So there's a lot at stake for Buffalo. This is why I'm picking them. I'm not necessarily saying they are a better football team than the Dallas Cowboys, and they have better personnel than the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think that at all. But what I do think is in this particular game, they beat the Cowboys no matter what the point spread is because they're desperate. They're desperate to show that we are still here and the door hasn't slammed on us.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're going to be desperate. They're going to play with their backs against the wall. They're cornered. If they lose this game, I mean, realistically, probably closes their playoff chances and makes it really hard for them to have any shot at getting that 7th seed. But I mean, if you look at some of their losses, like you said, they lost to the Patriots, they lost to the Broncos, and how they're scoring in those games. They scored 16 versus the Jets in week 1, then 20 versus Jacksonville in week 5, 25 against the Patriots, 18 versus the Bengals. Like, you're like, hey, you got a really good quarterback. Where are the points? And then you fire Ken Dorsey because you say it's Ken Dorsey's fault. It's Ken Dorsey's fault. I just don't know. I know this team will come out desperate. I know that this defense at times, since Rasul Douglas has come into the fold, they have been a lot better. They have played better football. But it's just which Josh Allen are you getting? Which Buffalo Bills team are you getting? Because it's Jekyll and Hyde. So if you get a good Buffalo Bills team and they're hot, Skip, like they were against the Philadelphia Eagles, then that's going to be a ball game that I think they could win. Now, if the Dallas Cowboys play like they have been at home, then they're going to probably walk away with the win. Dak Prescott is leading the league in touchdowns. Their offense is number 1 in scoring, number 4 in yards. Their defense is playing well. They're number 4 in scoring, 3 in yards. But it just depends on which teams you get because they have been a different team away from Jerry's world. And so has, I mean, we'll see. We'll see because they've been a different offense since Ken Dorsey got fired. They've run the ball a little bit better in Buffalo. But I just don't know what you're getting, and that's the frustrating thing. I mean, the Cowboys got a good chance to win this game, but again, which team shows up?
Buffalo usually shows up, though, at home in these type of situations, other than the playoff game a year ago against Cincinnati.
And the Russell Wilson game that they lost to Denver.
And the Russell Wilson. But see, that wasn't a big game to me. That was Denver's coming in here.
It was a night game.
Yeah, it was Monday. But when I mean a big game, Skip, I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys rolling in to Archer Park, or Miami Dolphins rolling in to Archer Park. That's a big game. Not a team that just got ran out of the building by 70 against the Miami Dolphins and they catch you by surprise. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when the Dallas Cowboys type team is coming into town, Buffalo tends to play better for whatever reasons at home. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Bills Mafia. I have no idea.
Okay. This is just me, but I believe that much of the world is still sleeping on my Dallas Cowboys. I believe much of the NFL world, much of the betting world is still saying, I'm not sold, I'm not sure. I believe much of the betting world got blinded by the light of Josh Allen beat Mahomes at Mahomes.
It was 5 years ago.
Okay, but well, just I mean, but they just did it.
No, I know. I'm just saying that whole.
But the big shootout was whenever that was.
Yeah,
I
that
got it
big
here somewhere.
shootout.
It was unbelievable. I wrote it down here this morning. I'll find it. But,
4 years ago.
Yeah, it was 4 years ago, and it was a shootout to end all shootouts. It was.
It wasn't Josh's fault.
Yeah, no, but okay, that he made his reputation to me off that game. He's almost like a poor man's Mahomes. Against Mahomes, he tries to out Mahomes, and sometimes he can, although this past game, I wasn't all that impressed with, frankly, either one of them. Okay, so the point is this. The Bills' defense has slowly but surely been decimated this year because Matt Milano is their playmaker, heart and soul of that defense, the driving force, that the guy who's always in the middle of everything is Matt Milano, and he's gone for the year. And Tre'Davious White was he's their best corner, right?
Right.
And he's a top, I don't know.
How long? 2 years now?
No, I mean, he was playing this year. He got injured again this year.
Yeah, he got
injured
gone
last year
again.
and this year, yeah. 2
Okay,
straight injuries.
Micah Hyde he just had so many collisions in his career. He just can't. Now he's got another stinger, another neck, and he was out of the game the other day. And I don't know what his status is going to be coming up. But you've been through this where, after a while, you just
don't want to deal with it anymore.
You just don't, because it's just too scary, man. Because now you're dealing with your spine. He's always got some,
that's when your wife comes in and she's like, "Hey, that's enough."
Hey, this is crazy. And then Von Miller, he used to be the best. He was the ultimate game wrecker, as Cam Newton will validate for you in that Super Bowl. And he's been injured, and he's coming off injury, and he played 24 snaps at Kansas State. I don't even remember him playing because he's a shell of himself at the moment. Maybe he'll rise and shine for a big game against Dallas. But my point is, if you keep taking away this many really good, like Micah Hyde to me is top of the list. He is on playing with your head and your ability. I don't know what your view of him is, but he's just like he's up there with me. A phenomenal player. So if he can't go, all of a sudden you're up against this is the number one offense. This is first and third down conversions. This is number one in time of possession, number one in time per drive. They can just drive it and drive it. I sit back in awe of it because Dak has not been making mistakes. Mistakes kill drives. Dak finally lost a fumble. That was his first fumble of the year. I was sort of glad he got it out of his system. Okay, let's go forward. He's not throwing picks the way he did, obviously, a year ago. Leading the league in touchdown passes. He's right there with Brock Purdy and QBR. They keep going back and forth, back and forth. Well, so this offense is a force to be reckoned with, and I don't know if they have the firepower they used to have on defense. They're not quite, even though their stats are still really good. They're sixth in points allowed. Dallas is fourth in points allowed. But Dallas is coming off a game in which it held Jalen Hurts' offense to two field goals.
Really
in the end, it was 2 field goals. Well, again, they kept taking the ball away. It wasn't that Jalen couldn't drive the ball. Keyshawn, you kept saying yesterday, well, they drove it, and then they took it away, and then they took it away, and they took it away
That
3
was the
times.
truth, though. The truth was they were bending all the way.
Bending.
And then
they
all
would
of a
just
sudden,
snatch it.
Then they cause a fumble.
Yeah. Right.
But those type of mistakes are made by Philadelphia. If you hold on to the ball and you know that you're being chased from behind, Skip, you have to secure the football.
I understand, but they're literal takeaways.
I understand.
Where you are literally taking
I'm
the
not
ball.
taking anything away from Dallas. I'm just telling you that Philadelphia was able to go from one end to the next quick, fast, and a hurry.
Right, and that's the concern about this game, because if they can find the matchups, if Dallas doesn't, well, they should, because Al Harris will for sure do it, and they've done it in multiple games. But he should travel Gilly with Stephon Diggs. And if he does that, the only matchup you have is Gabe Davis. You have Gabe Davis, and you hope that he has a good game against the kid. If he doesn't, that's the matchup. And Gabe Davis isn't like, he's not a slouch, but he's pretty inconsistent. He could have a game where he goes off. He had some huge games.
You still got to account for Kincaid.
You got Dalton Kincaid. You got Cook out of the backfield. You got some weapons there, but can they move?
And
can
on top of that, you got to worry about their quarterback.
Can you protect Josh Allen?
He don't need no protection because he'll pull it down and go.
But again, Josh Allen has led the league in interceptions for a long time. So if you throw the ball up and your matchup is Deron Bland, and that's the matchup you're going to, He has 5 pick sixes. He leads the league in interceptions for absolute reason. It's not luck. It's not him just happen to be in the right spot. They're going to find their opportunities, and they're going to have to target him because you're not going to live on Gilly. You're not going to live throwing the ball at Stephon Gilmore all game, or you're going to have a rough game. So I think your only chance to win this game is Kincaid or Gabe Davis. Or you run the ball well, but if they can't protect him, then it all goes out the window.
By the way, I pounded the table over here for my team to draft Kincaid because I just loved him.
Yeah.
So the ultimate irony would be if he just bedevils me and beats me on Sunday with 10 catches for
but see, I wouldn't feel that way because I like the tight end that the Cowboys got.
Right.
I like
Jake Ferguson.
I like him.
Hey,
I like him.
I told you he's become the
like
the spirit of the whole offense. He's the enforcer.
Give you a little hope there, Skip.
Yeah,
I like him.
I got a lot of hope. So,
but you got to figure out how to stop this quarterback because his quarterback, believe it or not, whether he's a turnover machine or whatever, when he's on, he's on.
All right.
That's just the bottom line. And if they get up on your Dallas Cowboys, that thing can turn into something crazy, in terms of the crowd getting involved. And Dallas hasn't been on the road and faced the type of opponent like this year that they've won. They played Philadelphia, they lost. They played the 49ers, they lost. You going into Orchard Park, they got something for you if you allow that quarterback to do what he's normally can do, what he can do at home.
I'm going to say it again. I still feel like what happened at Arizona and especially what happened at San Francisco was another season ago, like it was last season. Like you
can certainly argue that there was a different team than that they're playing now. The way things are, the tight end has evolved. CeeDee Lamb all of a sudden has become something other than a fringe number one, as Richard Sherman would call him. A fringe number one, as Richard Sherman called, because I didn't call him a fringe one. Richard said that. Richard said it. I said he was missing something.
That's what he was.
He was missing something, is what I said.
Look, that's what he was. I mean, he admitted it. I was sitting there at the TNF game when Taylor Rooks interviewed him. He said, hey, he had a valid point. That's the way I was playing. I was looking at the tape. I'm not sitting there like, I'm doing something other than tape. The tape has said since those times, they've targeted him over 10 times a game.
100%.
They were targeting him 4 or 5 times a game. They're targeting him over 10 times every single game.
At San Francisco, they targeted him 5 times, and he caught 4 for 49, and I didn't even know he played.
And you don't even know he played. And ever since then.
And they're a better football team right now than they were at the beginning of the season. There's no question about it, Skip. Arizona, you can't erase, and you certainly can't erase the San Francisco losses. No. I understand that's what you want to do, but you can't do that.
But just like, that's what I tell Skip. He want to erase those, but then bring up the Giants game that happened at the beginning of the season. I'll tell you what, Skip be cherry picking, but I like it, Skip. But you do not want to get in a shootout in Orchard Park. That's what I'll say. If you get in a shootout like you did against the Seattle Seahawks in Orchard Park, I don't know if the results are the same because they get a little wacky out there when things get crazy. But if you can keep the game low and that defense starts to play well and Micah gets going.
I told you guys yesterday, maybe the gods are smiling on us because the weather forecast right now is pretty decent for this time of year.
It's good. It's great, actually.
Great.
Yeah. Same as it would be anywhere else in the country to play good football.
High 30s. I don't know what the wind will be because sometimes that's a wind tunnel through there where the wind just whips through.
Right.
But we're going to go deep into Josh Allen in a little bit, but I'm just going to say this because I've said it sitting in this seat 100 times on this show. I do think he's been overrated over time because he's a turnover machine.
Right.
And he got so much acclaim, so much shine so early that he always tries to live up to the Mahomes comparison. Is he better than Mahomes? And he will try just about anything at any moment. And by the way, every once in a while, he can pull it off because he has a huge arm and he is a huge man. He is 6'5", 245 or in that range. And he is hard to get on the ground.
He does everything Lamar Jackson does. He does everything. The difference is Lamar doesn't turn the football over nearly as bad. But in terms of his ability to run, Lamar Jackson can pierce the football. People don't want to give him that credit because that's just when you come into this league, and there is this, everybody has a knock on him in the league, right? He's not fast. He's not tall. He won't tackle. He throws a lot in and it sticks with you. No matter what you do, it just sticks with you throughout your career. And this is Josh Allen. He's a turnover machine.
He is.
He can.
But that's not even a bad hand. That's just the truth.
It's the truth. But he can lessen his turnovers in the next 10 years, Skip, and people still gonna say he's a turnover machine.
Yeah, I mean,
because early in his career,
that's what he
was a turnover machine.
Right.
Same thing with Brett Favre. He gonna take it from you and he gonna give it to you.
Right.
That's the reality of it.
I mean,
gunslinger.
But you just look at his stats from last year. You know, he had 14 interceptions. Dak, everybody was killing Dak last year, including me, because he had the 15 interceptions in 12 games. Well, you look at Josh Allen right now. He has 14 interceptions and they're 13 games into the season. But you're still okay. All right. I mean, we're not bringing that up. Okay. All right. We're not talking about that. All right. Because all right. Well, never mind. I mean,
leave him alone.
I got you.
Skip will get him.
We're not going. Okay.
I'm going to get him.
Let Skip get him because that's what Skip wants to do.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.